Whatever your role in university life, the likelihood that you'll experience some form of change is very high. Whilst some individuals thrive in change situations, others find them stressful due to the many unknowns the change process can bring. Tolerance of change and the timeline to acceptance of change can vary from person to person, depending on their context, their colleagues and work environment, and on their previous experiences. Resistance or opposition to change can be caused by fear of what's to come, as the person at the centre of a change needs time to gather information and mentally process the implications of their new role or situation. Transitioning is the internal mental processing of change, and people often seek mentoring or coaching when they're attempting to understand and manage a change. The types of transitions that mentors are asked to support could range from changes in systems, policies, or processes to someone starting a new program of study, a job role, a promotion or career shift, to redundancy, redeployment, or restructuring of departments. It might be a change in health, home circumstances, or family dynamics, or preparing for retirement. Transitions are complex, demanding, and emotional, and can be hampered by out-of-date narratives of success that position this process as an objective one that comes easily to the intellectually capable. The letting go of the old ways of approaching things and the formation of new strategies that address the issues in hand requires reflection, and mentoring conversation can enable this. A mentor can help their mentee to reflect on the events, relationships, and strategies for moving forwards, helping them to let go of things that are no longer working and connect to others in their environment to begin to gain clarity. Bridges described 3 stages for change, and by recognizing what stage your mentee has reached, you can tailor your support to enable them to gain the information and insight that they need to move forward. The key thing to remember, although it might seem counterintuitive, is not to rush your mentee towards the positives. Don't push them to accept the change and embrace their new beginnings. Be patient. Stage 1 of transitions is about ending, losing, and letting go. The stage might be characterized by shock, anger, disappointment, frustration, confusion, and a sense of loss. As comfort and familiarity falls away, it's usual for mentees to feel fearful about what's to come and whether they'll be able to cope or manage the new demands placed on them. Acknowledge the loss they're experiencing. Reassure your mentee that the thoughts and emotions that have arisen are normal and that they will pass. Support them in these early days to begin to distinguish between what is ending and what is not, and to look for ways they can gain more information. Don't look for positives too early, as this can appear to trivialize their situation. Stage 2 is the neutral zone, and that's a stage characterized by confusion and a sense of overload, as new information and expectations are digested, requiring a phase of adaptation. Taking on new responsibilities or identities while still feeling attached to the old can lead to a tendency to feel skeptical about the way forward and resentful of the change. Acknowledge your mentee's feelings of overload, uncertainty, and unfamiliarity. These are normal parts of a transition process. Remind them that it's usual to experience a drop in their efficiency whilst working between these 2 ways of being. Support them to create temporary systems for managing areas of uncertainty, and encourage them to continue to seek guidance on areas that they're not yet comfortable with. Commend them for making progress and help them to reflect on how their own resourcefulness has been an asset to them in the past and now. Now is the time to look for small positives that the transition has yielded. Stage 3 is the new beginning, and this stage is characterized by a time of acceptance and a renewed energy for the new task, role, or situation ahead. You might notice your mentee building the skills, networks, or routines they need to work successfully in the new way. They're starting to recognize that they're doing a good job with positive outcomes. Remind your mentee that it's normal to be ambivalent about their new situation or role. They don't have to feel extremely positive towards it at this point, and it doesn't mean that they'll not grow to really enjoy the change. Continue to support them to gain clarity and vision by communicating with others. Get them to create a meaningful set of objectives and a purposeful plan of how to achieve them. In summary, mentors can enable their mentees to explore their reactions, to give themselves permission to experience the thoughts and emotions that have arisen, and guide them to focus on what they can control rather than what they can't. And encourage them, when they're ready, to just try on the new situation and see what new information this different perspective can bring.